What's happening, man? It's Dominique Trap Franson, and you watching True School Sports. Wow, na 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 na. Boom.
Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, let me set up for this one because this is one that, you know, I was excited for. To me, this fight right here was the main event on the Canelo versus Golovkin 3 undercard. And that was, you know, a guy that I think has, right now, up until we see what happens with Bivol and Zoldo Ramirez, at this moment in time, he might just be, for me, at this moment in time, he is the fighter of the year. San Antonio, Texas' very own Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Now, let's talk about him. Bam Rodriguez was put in a fight which was looked at and viewed to be a showcase fight to, you know, really build some more momentum up for him and make him that star in the super flyweight division, in the lower weight classes, right? They put him in there with three-time world title challenger Israel Gonzalez. Now, I'm very familiar with Israel Gonzalez. I watched Israel Gonzalez when he fought Cal Yafai in Monaco in 2018, and I thought he was grossly robbed and should have won the WBA title. But most people didn't watch that fight, so they don't even know about that fight. But he fought very well in that fight, gave a great account of himself. Fought Chocolatito 2 years ago in Mexico. And he's no punk. He's no slouch. You know, he is one of the guys that make this weight class what it is. You know, he's a guy that really probably at best is probably, what, maybe the 10th or 9th best super flyweight. Maybe even outside of that. But he's still, on his day, a very, very tough out for anybody in this division, right? So this is his fourth world title challenge. This is a guy that's fought all comers, German Acosta as well, along with Chocolatito and Cal Yafai. So he wasn't going to be scared of no guy from 108 pounds. And Jesse Bam Rodriguez was going to have to go in there and earn it. And man, this was the best fight on the card. Out of all the guys Bam has fought this year, and Bam fought some names. He fought Cuadras. He fought Rungvisai's last fight. But Israel Gonzalez this year has given him the toughest fight so far. We saw Israel Gonzalez doing a lot of volume body punching. He threw a lot of punches, more than Bam. Bam was the more accurate fighter, but he outworked Bam in the output department, and a lot of those punches were being delivered to the body, and a lot of these shots were getting Bam's respect. He had success in pockets of the fight at pushing Bam back, and he was taking rounds off Bam. I mean, he's taking rounds easy off Bam. And I think what allowed Bam Rodriguez to win this fight was ultimately having the superior IQ, skill set, and versatility. You know, the ability to pivot around Israel Gonzalez, to out-jab Israel Gonzalez. These things were the difference in the fight. But and he wins the fight, so he's 3-0 this year. 3-0 with two. He's 3-0, making more noise at 115, putting the finishing touches on what's been a banner year for him. But it was the kind of fight to where, if you're looking at Bam Rodriguez, you're not really like for me personally, I like Bam. Big fan. I'm banging the drum for Bam Rodriguez, but like I still am not of the belief that he would just go in there and walk through Roman Gonzalez. I really do believe Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, even at his advanced age, can still beat up on Bam Rodriguez. And last night kind of confirmed some of those thoughts. Like I feel like, you know, we saw Israel Gonzalez have a lot of success pressing Bam, pushing him back. And my thing is, okay, Israel Gonzalez is one thing, but Chocolatito Gonzalez is a whole other thing. That's when we talk about intelligent pressure fighting, he is the Dundada, the king, the real TBE of intelligent pressure fighting when it comes to, you know, active fighters and modern day greats in boxing. So I'm very intrigued to see that fight happen because, you know, one of the chinks in Israel Gonzalez's armor that allowed Bam to win some of these rounds and pull away in the fight was the fact that he is not the most defensively sound fighter. As to Roman Gonzalez, you're talking about a guy that, you know, on his day, on most days, but when he's really got it locked in, can put on a defensive masterclass and not even have to move that much to do it. Just a defensive master of efficiency. So, great fight. You know, I think for Israel Gonzalez, he's still, I don't know his exact age because I don't got it in front of me, but I know, despite the fact that he's now challenged for the world title 4 times at 115 and he's failed 4 times, He's still relatively young, and I feel like he actually got a little bit more craftier and better from the Chocolatito fight. So I would like to see him still get fights at 115. You know, if Julio Cesar Martinez wants to bring his little ass back on up to 115, then I think an all-Mexican fight with Israel Gonzalez and Julio Cesar Martinez would be great. And I think for if you're Israel Gonzalez, I know it's been tough, it's been arduous, but that's probably a fight I'm looking at as one that's very winnable for him, because Martinez isn't as skillful as a Bam or Chocolatito, and he's going to throw a lot of punches and give you chances to push him back. I think it's a winnable fight. So I'd like to see that fight in the future, but respect to Israel Gonzalez, probably one of my favorite fighters in his weight class, because every time he goes out there, he's not no punk, he's not no bitch. He always goes out there, and he's always, you know, giving his best effort, you know. So he gave Bam hardest fight of the year so far. Definitely should worthy of our respect. And yeah, just he's worthy of every boxing fan's respect in time. You know, shout out to Israel Gonzalez. And as far as Bam goes, I don't know, man. You know, I still have my questions about him fighting Roman Gonzalez if that fight becomes a thing, because I saw a lot. I've seen chinks in the armor for other fights, even in the Rumbleside fight, but they were really on display when he fought Israel Gonzalez more so than others. And that's what it is. You know, personally, if I was Bam, I think you've really pushed your limit to 115 before things get too bad. I think Bam should go back down to 112 and go fight Sonny Edwards, because I've always had questions about him fighting Sonny Edwards, and if he could beat him, I have a bit more of them now after seeing Israel Gonzalez last night. So I would like to see that fight if we don't get Chocolatito next. But either way you cut it up, slice it and dice it. Bam Rodriguez is out here getting it done. He's a very skillful fighter. He's one of the best fighters in the world today. And whether or not he becomes that next, you know, Chocolatito, so to speak, it don't matter. The 2022 has been the year of Bam Rodriguez. And if Bivol beats Zotto, then for me, Bivol should be win fight of the year. But this might actually be a year where it's kind of like the 1982? Because back in 1982, Sugar Ray Leonard and Salvador Sanchez both won Fighter of the Year together. Ring Magazine actually gave them both Fighter of the Year. So I feel like if Bivol beats Zotto, especially if he does it in sensational fashion, I feel like Bam for what he's done and how he's burst onto the scene, and Bivol for what he's done, if he beats Zotto, you know, pretty much taking out all of Mexican boxing from 168 to 175. I feel like both these guys will be deserving of Fight of the Year. But yeah, Bam Rodriguez, he wins. Not his best night at the office, but a lot of that is not due to the fact that Bam isn't a fantastic fighter. A lot of it is due to the fact that Israel Gonzalez actually has gotten a little bit better. And Israel Gonzalez ain't no bitch, and he's not no soft tune-up. And a lot of people didn't know who he was because they don't really do their homework. They don't do the research. They don't watch the lower weight classes. But I knew this, and I knew that if Bam was really the real deal, if he was really going to show that he was creme de la creme, top shelf, he was going to do it in a fight like this. And you know what? I can't criticize Bam too much because he stopped Rumbleside's last fight. But, you know, good win nonetheless. You know, there were some low blows. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But he got the win. Make of that what you will. Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Just like Mayweather's uncles would say, a lot of people don't know shit about boxing. You know, you do. You've done it.
Thank you. You about the only smart guy that I know, bro. Nobody knows shit about boxing.
I appreciate it, man.
I want to say, man, make sure to follow True School Sports, always covering boxing at the highest level, man, and make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him on Instagram at Just a Kid from Dania as well.
He the plug.